There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Light flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Light flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Light flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
It is Tuesday, 7 p, the place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley, and that man right there, that is the great Frankie Fresco. Frankie, how we doing today, man?
Everything's great, my friend. Blessed to be here with you to do another show.
We already got Steven Gonzalez and Papa already in. If you're watching us on X or Facebook or Twitch, jump over to the YouTube channel, Stanley Media House and Frankie Fresco. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit the notifications. We go live here every Tuesday, 7 or 8, depending on the traffic from the casino home, actually. That's how it works out for me. So, Frankie Fresco, Elimination Chamber has come, has gone. We did our pre and post with Two Raw for SmackDown with Adrian and Tony. Overall, still the same. You had a couple days to think about it. Still the same as what you had that day.
I had given it a B plus. I think I'm gonna drop it down to like a B minus now after looking at it. Some stuff was really good. Some stuff still kind of like after looking at it a second time, it was kind of shaky. The whole AJ Lee Becky Lynch fight was mediocre. The Danhausen presentation was kind of mediocre, and obviously the small little things that happened throughout the matches, which was obviously giving Rhea Ripley the victory. I listened to the commentators and they said that Rhea Ripley's now going to be going for the 5th time in a row to WrestleMania for the WWE Heavyweight title. So it's like we're getting the same repetitive matches or over and over again. So it's kind of like once you start adding these things up, you start noticing and you're like, mm, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. So still a decent show. I
Mhm.
still liked it, but there's a little me being nitpicking. I'm
Yeah,
starting
it
to
was
notice
safe.
a
They
little
did the safe thing. The person that's always there, that's been, supposedly, quote unquote, selling seats for WrestleManias, they put them back into the main event pictures. Last night, Monday Night Raw. Steven says this Monday Night Raw had to be one of the best one I've seen in a while, huh, guys. It definitely started out with
bit
pretty damn good. I mean, I'll tell you that. I mean,
creative.
the fact that I am interested to see where they go with everything the way it happened at the end. Okay, you had a whole bunch of masked guys come out. Security takes one, then Logan chases one, then Austin Theory chases one. Um, then another one starts coming down the aisle, and all of a sudden another one jumps up on the back. That's Seth. Nails Paul Heyman with the chair, does the stomp. Heyman gets taken out. Logan and them are back at the ambulance. Logan's going to get the car. Austin Theory is like da da da. Then the car pulls up. He thinks it's Logan. Nope, it's Jimmy Uso, and he's whooping his ass. And on Theory, and then he goes over to the ambulance, and who's driving the ambulance? L.A. Knight.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he takes off and almost kills the poor security guy. That I don't know if that was part of it or if that was whatever, but it looked good. It looked good. The guy jumping out of the way, trying to save his life.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, like, is it going to be the Usos and LA Knight with Seth Rollins
I for
to
some
take
shit.
on the like the enemy of my enemy is my friend? So Seth Rollins becomes their friend to go after the Vision. Like I just that's the part to me that was kind of like, where does it go from there? Because it was perfect. It was played out good. But the question I would have is, where does it go from there now?
I think later down the show we actually got the Usos attacking Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So I am assuming that for WrestleMania
Oh,
we
you know
might
what? I
get.
did not. The Jimmy Uso's music played,
Hmm.
and I walked away. Is that what happened in that match? Jay Uso
Yeah.
came out, and okay.
Yeah. Jay Uso came out, gave the helped Jimmy. Jay's song came out, and then Jimmy came from behind. Jay came from behind, and then they both knocked out Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So I was assuming that because of that, for me, it looks like they're shutting up Austin Theory and Logan Paul versus the
Yeah, and Usos. Yeah,
WrestleMania. That's kind of where I think they're going. But then that also leaves the question: where does this leave Seth Rollins? Because obviously he has to be part of WrestleMania, but they have to include him some way somehow. But you got Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker still hurt. So what's gonna happen with him? So it's interesting. It's the only thing I could think of is they attacked Paul Heyman so bad that the only other person that could get really, really upset besides Logan Paul and Austin Theory would be Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Yeah,
And then you could probably put Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, but again, I don't know if if that's the right move for Seth Rollins. He just came off an injury. I don't want to see him get injured again.
yeah,
So that would be kind of scary to see that. So we'll see. We'll see
yeah.
where they go with Seth.
And now for our first kind of two topics that we got here, and the topics are brought to you today by DJ Frankie Fresco.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna try to read them as you got them here because I don't want to take away from what.
No, you don't have to read them by verbatim.
Oh no, I want everybody to see how bad your broken English is. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm kidding. The first topic we're going to talk about is Penta. Penta and Dom last night for the IC title. Penta wins, which surprised me. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he got cursed. Hey, well, Dom got cursed.
Yeah,
Remember?
Dom did get cursed. I understand that part of it, but what happens to Dom's AAA belt now? I'm wondering what happens to Dom now in WWE. Like it's
both.
It's very like if he loses. I mean, I guess technically, you did have Finn Balor cost him because he stopped JD from getting the hammer and giving it to Dom. So there is that playing out of it. But now if it's Dom versus Finn or whatever, however you want to look at it, without an IC title, is it the same?
No. And that's where I feel like
I mean,
I,
and
I don't know if
let
they
me-
made the right
real,
move.
Real quick caveat. I'm sorry. They do have 6 more weeks to kind of fix it. But go ahead now. Go ahead.
So I'm a little bit confused about that because I get the Danhausen cursing, giving him the curse, and people are starting to say that another reason why they brought Danhausen is because a lot of people have been saying that the Vision has gotten injured, and that's probably because Danhausen cursed them as well. So there's rumors that they're going to use that type of storytelling in order for them to kind of make it entertaining for the fans. But my question here is, where do you go with Dom? Because now if he loses the belt in AAA, he won't be able to challenge that belt either.
No, he has to leave the federation, so
Exactly.
he's no longer in AAA.
He's no longer in AAA. So then where does that leave Dom? Does that leave him in the sense that they're planning to elevate him now? Or is it that they're just going to go ahead and keep him stagnant now? Because you really don't know what you're gonna get. And like you said, what do you gotta have Dom at WrestleMania. Obviously, he's a big part of WWE. He's a young kid, very talented. A lot of people like seeing him, but you also have to go and see if you put him up against Finn Balor, no belt, are people gonna be excited about this? And that's where a lot of questions are. People are gonna question it. There is no belt involved, and what are you gonna do with Penta now? Like, is Penta now going to be in WrestleMania? Is he going to be defending the IC belt in WrestleMania? And who's going to challenge Penta afterwards now that he is the champion? So it's a lot of things and a lot of questions. And I don't know if they got it right. I know Penta and Dom had been wrestling before, and Dom had won every single time by cheating. And I'm excited for Penta. If there's one person that I don't mind Dom losing to, is definitely my favorite wrestler, which is Penta. But I don't know where they're going with this, man. This is a little bit of a confusion for me. I'm a little bit curious to see who's going to challenge Penta, and I'm a little bit curious to see what happens to Dom. Is he now going to get stagnant, or if he's going to go ahead and get elevated to possibly now start challenging for maybe the world belt for after WrestleMania?
If that is the case, then it would be CM Punk winning the title match over Roman Reigns. Because Dom does not build matches to get to versus Roman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely not.
Again, that's the way I kind of see how that goes. But again, they've got 6 weeks to kind of, I guess, lay this out. But you're right. What is Penta's next move?
Yeah.
And then, like, it was very, like, odd to me. It was like, I started wondering, I was like, does Dom have an injury? But then I'm like, no, he just did a full match. I mean,
Yeah.
the match was a good 15,
Yeah, it was a good
20 minutes,
Yeah.
So it's like he's not wrestling with an injury or something, and I do get that, I get it. Finn Balor's coming off of fighting for the title, but at WrestleMania, that's just not a match that's. I feel like for the Intercontinental title, it gives it more, unless they say it's for the leadership of Judgment Day, but then I feel like that takes away from Liv and Raquel and JD. Like, those two are the only two going to fight to become who's the leader?
100%. And then what happens if Finn Balor wins? Then what happens to Liv? What happens to Dom? Do they kick them out? Does Liv go along with him? What is going on? Because it feels like Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne all kind of prefer Dom over Finn.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you give them that stipulation of whoever wins takes over Judgment Day and the other one has to sit back. Again, if Dom, I'm assuming Dom should win if that's the case. And then you would let Finn do his own thing. But then what can you do with Finn? He just had back-to-back matches with CM Punk and he lost.
Yeah.
So,
but you should elevate him from there now. Not kind of, and again, I'm not saying Dom's a step down, but you go Finn Balor to what? Now you're fighting for the leadership of Judgment Day? At least if he goes from there to fighting for the IC title, you can kind of be like, okay. Because again, you're not going to stay in the main event level after you've just lost twice. I get that.
mm-hmm.
But you can't fall all the way back down either.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a very interesting, these 6 weeks, I really feel like they have no clue of what they want to do at this WrestleMania.
I agree with you, man. I don't think they do.
Maybe at the top of the card, but everything else is like a free-for-all, it feels like to me right now.
It feels like they are just trying to stack it up as much as they can and then just kind of winging it as things goes on. And is it gonna happen? Is it gonna work? That has just yet to be determined, man, because we don't know what they're doing. It's like it's crazy. And we got a specific topic about wrestling tickets. Tickets.
Yeah, we're gonna hit that after we do the next one. After we do the, let's jump into this now because you talked about the Roman and CM Punk promo, and you says elevating their matchup, or do you feel it is stagnant?
Well, here's okay. Let me ask you this because you saw the first promo between the two. It was great. It was awesome. Now you have this second promo. And I felt like this promo was good. But
this promo should have been the one done the Friday before WrestleMania or the Monday before WrestleMania if Roman's not going to be there on Friday.
Okay. Yeah,
because people are going to forget that last bit that he told Roman. You're all alone. There's no more Shield. There's no more bloodline. It's only you. And you're all alone, and now that you're all alone, he said, I forgot how he said, but he basically said, I'm gonna put you next to your dad, and left. And like to me, that should be like right before the match to get that personal. Remember, his father just passed away, and is a very respected person in wrestling. Like it's not like, it's just his dad. No. It's also somebody that's very well respected in the wrestling circles. He trained a lot of these people, a lot of these guys, and I felt like they tried to take it too personal, too quick, because they know Roman's not there every week. But it could have drug out. You could have done that line to me closer to where, again, as the fight's going on, Roman's punching him, beating him down, and it's like, oh, you're going to bury me next to my dad? As he's doing it. And you remember that stuff. Now you have to remember for 6 more weeks before WrestleMania. Again, WrestleMania is 7 weeks away, but since last night happened, there's 6 Raws. So now you have to remember these little things. And I feel like it's one of those things to where they felt like it needed something that it didn't need. And I don't know who thought that. Or why they thought it, but you could have sent both of them out there just off the tweet that Roman sent, and they did that because he said, you know what, I am tired, and this and that, and I'm not a part-timer, like they could have done that end of it more and dug into that more this one instead of getting so personal at the end to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like what you saying makes logical sense. They are just going at each other, going ahead and telling each other what they feel, getting personal. But we know they could cut promos between the two of them. This was really good. But what are we gonna get now? Like we already got 2 of them back to back. We don't see Roman Reigns on a consistent basis on Monday night.
Yeah.
So what's the next thing that's going to happen after this? You had them both of them go at each other.
What are you going to do? Roman's got to lay out CM Punk. You can't say you're going to bury me next to my dad, and especially in like the bloodline, Samoan dynasty type thing, and be like, oh, that's just him talking. No. You're going to have to lay out CM Punk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to at this point now. That's where the next time Roman is on Raw, it is no questions asked. You walk up and you just you just nail him.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you got to do it like where, you don't have to attack him or anything. CM Punk could be cutting a promo. Roman's music hits. He walks in. They get face to face. Roman just nails him. And they start going. However you want to do it from that point. But Roman's got to throw the first punch to me. After the way that promo ended, Roman should be out for his ass, basically.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think they have to go that far, and I think they have to kind of at least also possibly do maybe like a tag team match, like team either because they're having this issues or something like that. Maybe Finn Balor attacks CM Punk or Roman during the time that they're having this backstage or something, and then it creates okay, let's team up Finn and JD, and then let's team up CM Punk and Roman
Roman.
Reigns and see how they work together and try to win them and try to gain the fans into it. And then obviously implement them having like, being off with each other when they're tag team partners for that match and then go from there. Because if you just keep cutting us promos, I feel like okay, that's great, but there's nothing more. Like you could tell from yesterday's crowd that the crowd, some people felt it and some people didn't. It did not get the huge reaction like the promo before that they had.
Yeah,
So
but again, I think that line at the end really caught a lot of people off guard when he said, "You're not going to have to be alone anymore because I'm going to bury you next to your dad." And like, at first, I had to go back and listen to it again. Like, I was like, "Okay, he said it. Okay." And again, I gotta believe Roman. Like the creative and Roman, and this is the way they want to go. But I just think to get this personal, this quick, it's already a built up thing from last year. They
yeah,
didn't like each other, and then you had the part in the cage where CM Punk did his thing to help him out, and all the things that are there. This match has already got so much combustible elements to it, and then now you feel like, oh no, now we need to take it personal. Like I just felt like, look, if you want to do that like right before WrestleMania, but as you said, now look, the gas is poured on the on it now. Now you got to like the match and throw it and see what happens.
we still got 6 weeks to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So we still
And I
got a
know
long
Roman, I
way.
think is 3. I think he's every other week. He's there, I believe.
What's up, Tyler? Nice to see you on
Yeah,
the
Tyler,
chat
how you
board.
doing, sir? Or sorry, yo.
Yo. Yeah, so I mean, again, like if I see them do another promo, then I'm gonna be worried. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, now you're boring me, and now I need to see something more. So yes, I agree. There has to be some type of confrontation where they actually hit each other and they make up some type of matchup and then they go from there in order to spice it up a little bit. Because if you just keep cutting us promos like this, I think people are gonna get tired. And I think you know what they should also do, to be honest with you, man, I they need to go back to, like, the old school wrestling where they would cut promos outside of the WWE. Do some of those video, promos when Roman is not there. Like, for example, if Roman's not gonna be there next week, why can't they film one? Like, for example, you could and again, I don't know how extreme they wanna go, but CM Punk could be at Roman Reigns' father's graveyard and be like, "Yeah, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and bury you," or something like that to spice
Yeah.
it up. You could do something like that. And again, you're threading the needle with how far you want to go with that specific issue or that specific topic. But
Yeah.
you could do certain things like that while Roman is not there. And you could tape those. You don't have to, you could tape them the day Roman is there and you could tape them. And CM Punk, CM Punk can tape it whenever he can.
But also
So you could do things like that.
you can do Roman last night. You could just put him in an area and whatever, just in different areas to make it look like whatever. That's what they used to do. They used to just record all the promos at a sound stage and then they would put them up in the little box in the corner or something like that.
I mean,
But I mean, you can make it happen, and
I think
so
that's why the start of Monday Night Raw was so good because you saw out of the blue Jimmy come out. You saw LA Knight inside the ambulance. You haven't seen that in a long
yeah.
time. I haven't seen that. Those were that typical ideas reminded me of the whole the what do you call it,
Attitude
the
Era.
attitude era, where the attitude era was just you had those wild moments and when Stone Cold used to go visit Vince McMahon and beat his ass up in the hospital and stuff like that. That is what captivated us so much as well because they went out when The Rock was outside in Boston for the Boston Tea Party and he throws all the John Cena
Mhm.
stuff over at the lake and stuff, like all that stuff. Like, you need to bring that back, WWE, because promos is good, but you need more. You need people to be more invested in your product, and I think a lot of the topics that we have.
I don't even necessarily know it's about investment anymore. Honestly, man, it's not.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not.
you don't see you. I look. For me, I see like they have to gain the fans back, and I think little by little they're losing them, especially because of
No,
how much they're
but
raising the prices on
see, I
everything.
don't think they're losing the fans, but they're losing the fans that matter.
Yes.
And that's where, they're losing the wrestling fans that can't afford $100 for a standing room only ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the pricing has gotten so out, and this can kind of go into what we were talking about. The Backlash tickets right now in Tampa, ticket cost, I looked at it, it's $101 for general admission right now. And then you asked the question, well, MJF states you have to sell your soul for WWE tickets. What can we do as fans to get WWE lower ticket costs? Not attend. Describe the frustration of social media attacks. Stop watching the product. Stop buying the merch. The problem with that is, Frankie, and as you know, being a Miami Dolphins season ticket holder, there's always going to be a fragment of the fan base that's going to support no matter what.
Yes. But I'm going to tell you something, and this is why I said, what should the fans do? So I looked it up, and I was looking at it, and I found it from Indeed Wrestling. And it says the WWE audience spans multiple generations from children to adults. The majority of the fans that are attending these pay-per-views or these live premium events are male the age of 35 and over.
Yeah.
Because people who are in their late 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s have kind of gone ahead and, settled down in life. They, they didn't have to deal with the inflation. They've been able to, purchase homes or do whatever at a decent price instead of having a house and pay it really expensive at this time and stuff like that. So what's going to happen once those 35, 40, 45, 50-year-olds, pass away? What happens to our generation, our young generation, the 23-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, the kids that are supposed to follow and still become the next generation of fans tuning into WWE, going into these events, going and seeing them in these live premium events area? Because one of the biggest things that made me fall in love with WWE is, and I've mentioned it before, was when my dad took me to the Miami Arena. I was like 7 years old, and I got to see Undertaker and Yokozuna, Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Bob Backlund, Big Boss Man. I was able to see all these guys, and that I was already a wrestling fan, but bro, that captivated me to love wrestling. So if you don't have that and you only have the older crowd, the older guys and gals, because it does say that 60% of the audience generally or is male and 40% is female. So there is, they have gone ahead and been able to expand in as far as the gender in the WWE world to cater to both. And I think that's also because of the fact that the women's division, you have, obviously the Becky Lynches of the world, the Charlotte Flairs, the Rhea Ripleys, they have gained more. The women have much more respect, more of wrestling compared to years ago when they were more of just showing themselves off and swimsuits and, tatas and all that stuff back in the day.
Era.
The Diva era. But what's going to happen for the future? What's going to happen to our fans, our younger generation who don't go to these things, who can experience these things? Are they going to be inclined to stick around as long as you and myself have been? Hey, I'm a 41-year-old wrestling fan. You're close to in your 50s. So we're fans for how many plus years? There's a point in time, if you have a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 20-year-old, that when life hits the fan, they were like, okay, bro, I'm going to put wrestling to the side and I'm going to do my life. I have to do my regular 9-to-5 job. I do other things. I learn other stuff to do. And you forget about wrestling. And then all of a sudden, wrestling, WWE, and all the other wrestling goes down. That's where I was trying to go with this, because they're pricing us out so much that I don't know where this fan base is going to be able to hold on for future generations. I don't
But
see
it's
it,
not
bro.
only pricing out. They are. This started when they went to the. Well, let me rephrase this. It kind of started when Vince McMahon took the WWE to 2 nights of WrestleMania. Okay.
Okay.
Because now you got greedy, and Vince didn't raise prices though. Vince was like, well, if we can sell 76 on this night and 76 on that night, I doubled my money. That was his thinking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He gets a full stadium, and now we double the money because people are going to watch NXT, and then we're going Sunday to WrestleMania. And he's like, well, why don't we just do 2 nights of WrestleMania? We include the NXT, we got SmackDown, we got the Hall of Fame, we got Raw, we make it a whole weekend package now. But Vince didn't raise the prices. TKO comes in now, and you got the 2 nights, and you raise the prices now too. To where, to me, look, I love WWE. I like AEW. But I'm not paying those prices to go. WrestleMania now, AJ Styles nailed it. WrestleMania has lost its lore. It is not the granddaddy of them all. You can try and push it as that. And you can try to sell ticket prices at scalping high levels. But other than the top of the card and that first match, maybe, possibly, you could have made one good card and then maybe charge the prices you're charging for 2 nights of
course.
events. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
And again, the problem is TKO's doesn't care about selling tickets. Because with the prices they have, if they can sell 75% of the arena, they beat last year's gate.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. I mean, I'm just, I don't know, man. It's just,
Frankie, it's business now, bro. It's not. This isn't what wrestling used to be.
well. Look, I'm sharing with you if you
throw it up
can, whenever you can.
Yeah, I gotta add it to the screen. Hold on.
The screen showing Backlash, and of course, this is Backlash. May 9th, 2026. And if you look at all the blue dots, those are all the seats available for WWE Backlash, which is quite a few. That is
also, here's the thing too, Frank, and I was thinking about this on the way home after I saw what you said. If I'm going to spend, say, and me, I will not spend that money on it. But if I'm going to spend $1,000 or $800 on a ticket, I'm waiting to see what happens at WrestleMania before I purchase one of those tickets.
well, I don't. But
Because
remember,
I am not spending that much money. You haven't proven to me that you think Backlash is going to be that good of a pay-per-view.
well, Elimination Chamber wasn't bad, but if we zoom in again, we're the type that likes to sit, lower section. We're not really too high. Again, the cheapest one right here, you see it on the right side, $132.25, and that's not including fees. So when you add fees, you're probably going to pay somewhere around maybe $180, somewhere around there. But if you want to go down here, let's say this one's $831, and that's the 115 section. And if I go here, this is $555, and this is for Backlash. Like, this is not WrestleMania. So I'm looking at these prices, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll sit up here. $430.95. So when I look at these prices, I'm like, yo, like, you guys are selling these things, all these, and I'll stop sharing, that way you could have it there. But when you see these things, you'll notice that at the end of the day, bro, like, what is going on here? Like, you're selling us you want us to buy, you want us to spend, but Backlash is not even one of the top 4 premium pay-per-views that WWE likes to give us.
Yeah.
So then why in the hell are you charging us over $500, $600 plus for one ticket?
Because it's the TKO model. It's the TKO model. They think they can do to wrestling what they did with UFC. And the problem is this. UFC has the excitement to it of, I don't really know necessarily who's going to win. With WWE, if you follow the storylines, you can kind of figure out it's entertainment. It's not a sport like UFC. You can get away with that in UFC.
Well, that's true, because a lot of us did not expect Finn Balor to beat CM Punk at this past weekend.
Exactly.
We knew that.
And again, anybody that had a brain said, Randy Orton or Cody was winning. I mean, you might have been wrong on who you chose.
But we knew it was one of those two.
I was, but we said it's one of those two. And we said, again, you guys, we kept saying the safe thing. Tony picked Rhea. Nobody really went on a limb in the thing. I picked Alexis thinking they keep it on SmackDown and add Charlotte to it because of what was going on between Jade and Charlotte. And then that way you don't, because like now you're moving Rhea to a brand just to make this work to sell tickets for WrestleMania, basically is what you're doing.
And here's another thing. And shout out to Tony, because kudos to him. He was able to predict every single match except the box, right? But that's also shows you that WWE is very predictable. Because if we really, really play it safe, we could have also all of us said, okay, you know what? Rhea's going to win because they need a high profile versus Jade Cargo. So next time I'm going to pick a match, I'm going to say, okay, I know I'm going to pick Rhea no matter what. CM Punk is in Chicago, so he's going to win. AJ Lee's in Chicago. She's going to win. We thought at least they were going to kind of mix it up and be like, hey, maybe AJ Lee doesn't win because she's still rusty. They don't want to give the kudos all the time, but now we're like, okay, they gave it to him. So, and then you have the Elimination Chamber for the guys, which you obviously pointed it out, Randy or Cody. We knew it was one of those two. Those were the two last guys in the match. So that goes to show you. So it's very predictable and it's hurting him. And Tyler has said it. He's like, I'm not hating on WWE, but I think they need a better equality storylines and storytelling build up to WrestleMania, but I can't invest in WWE product with their tickets and everything. I still love WWE. And again, that's why I feel, Sean, when you say to me, Frankie, I don't think it's only about the storylines. I do feel that plays a huge part. But us as fans, if we want to lower these tickets and we want to go ahead and be like, you know what, TKO, go screw yourself. This is where we need to take a stand. We need to go ahead. We need to. Well, I'm gonna be the person vouching every week here on the Square Circle Digest.
You're gonna be the voice of the voiceless.
Exactly. I'm gonna be the voice of the voiceless, telling people, yo, stop buying merch. Stop going ahead and purchasing these expensive ass tickets and make not WWE, TKO, force them to make the pricing a lot better for us because
it'll never happen.
It's wrestling, man. We love wrestling. We love WWE.
You know what they'll do? You know what they'll do? Exactly what they're doing with the big four pay-per-views or PLEs, I'm sorry. They're going to send them overseas, bro. They'll get their money over there, man. That's, again, there is, and I told you this, I think, a couple weeks ago on a text or something, I believe, when we were going back and forth on something. I am starting to lose my interest in wrestling.
Yeah, man.
I am DVRing now. I'm not staying up to watch it. I wanted to start doing a breakdown of every show afterwards. No, I'm not doing anything to show support to these damn guys that just keep raising prices. And for what? For what?
And this is this year. Imagine what they're going to do next year.
The reason I say it's not the storylines is because the thing is, no matter what they do on the storylines, there's people that are just going to be WWE. There's people that are just going to be WWE no matter what.
Yeah, but Sean, like, how many people are going to go to Backlash or WrestleMania or go to this and are willing to spend thousands of dollars?
Well, already 77 of the 10,000 are sold. So over 75% of the stadium is sold. I know tickets are down, but that's also because ticket prices are so high now. I think a lot of people are like, I want to see a card before I pay this much money. Before, they would blindly do it because it wasn't as much money. Still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as much. So they said, okay, we'll trust in you, WWE, to give us a good card.
Well,
I don't think they have that trust in them anymore.
Well, last year's WrestleMania was a little bit lackluster, especially the second night. So I think fans are also realizing that, and they're like, "Hey, I gotta look."
Go back to one night and make it mean something again.
Look, I'm gonna disagree with you. I like the two nights.
No.
I like the two nights. I think the two nights.
It took the lackluster off. Let me tell you what they did. WrestleMania 30. You know how WrestleMania 30 started? Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. You know what the stipulation of that match was?
You remind me.
If Daniel Bryan won, he would be able to go in. Hold on a minute.
Oh, somebody's calling
No, my head shaver. What's going on?
you.
I
Okay.
was charging it on the desk and I forgot it was there.
I heard a vibrator. That's why I
Yeah,
was like, oh.
yeah. No, that's why I wanted to show it on air because I was like, I don't want nobody to be thinking that.
Well, you know
I'm
who's
showing-
thinking about it. It's Adrian.
Yeah,
Adrian is there. He'll
Adrian's
know.
already going to get me. Adrian's going to get me.
Like,
on
oh,
it.
you
I
got a
know.
vibrator, Sean?
Yeah. That's what's going to come next. But so Bryan Danielson versus Triple H. The stipulation of that match was if Daniel Bryan wins, he goes on to the main event in a triple threat match with Batista and Randy Orton.
Mm.
The yes movement, we call it nowadays. Of course, Daniel Bryan wins, goes on to the main event, and wins again. Think about this. Then I started thinking, I'm like, damn, imagine this. If WrestleMania 40, right? 40 was the one with The Rock and all them, right? That was 40
Yeah.
or yeah. If the show would have opened up with that tag team match, and then the stipulation was in the main event of that night, how much better is that WrestleMania than stretching it out over 2 nights?
See, but for me, I don't feel that way because I felt like that WrestleMania was good to
No,
have
but-
that as
but-
your main event on first night, and it made sense to roll over to your second night. It correlated one with the other. Plus, I feel that if you do WrestleMania night 1 and night 2, you're giving more to the fans. You're giving them more wrestlers that they could see more of the.
Yeah, but see, you would be doing that if your ticket prices weren't so absurd.
100%, and that's why when you said that,
That's
Vince
why.
McMahon-
That's where you have lost. I don't know. Maybe I agree with AJ where it's lost its allure, but maybe it hasn't lost its allure. TKO has killed it.
Yes, because when you mentioned to me, hey, look, Vince McMahon decided to do a 2 night because he could. Hey, he's gonna double his profit because he's doing it now 2 nights. But he didn't raise the tickets. You're right, because a lot of people are gonna go both nights. If I go to Las Vegas, I want to go see night 1 and night 2. I'm not gonna pay night 1 only, so I'm getting my money's worth, right? But when I'm paying $16,000 for 1 night and another $16,000 for the next night, what the hell is that?
Well, think about the packages. The package used to be SmackDown, the Hall of Fame. You could get to every show that whole weekend in a package deal that I think is probably less than 1 ticket is for night 1 of WrestleMania now.
How much is the cost of Hall of Fame right now? Because you obviously we got the news that these guys, Demolition, is making it into the Hall of Fame.
Here
which
comes
is
the
great,
axe. Here comes the smash.
which is awesome. I'm so happy to see them in the Hall of Fame. And then you got, I forgot that Stephanie McMahon was also in the Hall of Fame. And then obviously you got AJ Styles. So now you got 4 really, really cool people joining the Hall of Fame. I'm interested to watch all 4 of them talk. You feel me? That's how invested I'm into this Hall of Fame. So if I'm going to Las Vegas, I want to see that as well. So how much are those tickets to go see him?
Let's see. They typically range from $200 for standard seats to over $1,500 for premium VIP packages.
Gotta be shitting me. $1,500 for Hall of Fame. You know, and that's just standard. Who knows what happens this year? Because they haven't gone on sale. When do the Hall of Fame WWE tickets go on sale? Let me see. Or did they already go on sale? Yeah, actually.
I think they just did. I think when they announced the Demolition, I think they went on sale this week or last week or something.
Hold on, I see something here. Okay, so here I found something on Facebook. It says the Hall of Fame
boy.
tickets
That's
available.
got to be true.
I'm pretty sure there are more tickets available now than before, as it looks like they open in some seats. Lower your prices, W. Ain't nobody paying $200 to shit. Okay, so $200 to shit in the top, in the boondocks all the way in the top,
Yep.
and some of the tickets, and there's still quite a few. It says, although it says WWE Hall of Fame tickets for 2026 typically held during WrestleMania week and generally range from $66 to $1,000 per premium front row. But I don't know, man. I think these tickets. Let me see if I could go to.
You're not going to get premium front row because the wrestlers sit out there.
Yep.
Unless they've done away with them sitting out there. I know in the past, the staff and the wrestlers usually took up the bottom.
Yeah. Trying to see if I could. If
Yeah,
I don't-
I mean,
they're gone on sale.
he says AEW Revolution $739.36 for 2 tickets now. But where's that at? What location is that? I mean, area in the stadium is what I mean. Not
Yeah, and the thing is, Tyler does say he's also, he's also, a lot of people are switching to
yeah.
AEW. Not a lot of people,
Not a
man.
lot of people are
Not
switching.
a
No,
lot of
no,
people
no, no.
because their numbers are not
What they're
booming.
doing now is you're watching WWE on TV, you're watching WWE on Netflix, you're watching WWE. There, you're just not going to them anymore because you can't afford to.
Yeah, but then that's where the concern comes because how invested are you? Are you gonna stick around? Look at you right now. Look what you just said a couple minutes ago that
Yeah,
you don't even
no,
watch it live anymore. I didn't watch Monday Night Raw live. I DVR'd it. I'm sorry. I saw it afterwards on Netflix. And let's not forget how many freaking goddamn commercials they put in Netflix during these shows, which is annoying as hell.
not
And
to
it's
mention, I mean, you had the poor dude get his mask taken off on the Slim Jim.
yeah,
I mean, there's so much shit in the ring now. I mean, it looks like a UFC mat, bro. Like, what the hell are we doing?
it does. It does. Every 5 seconds
The
they have.
turnbuckles now have a freaking thing. It was during Elimination Chamber. They were ramming a dude's head, and it was a ram. I was like, "Holy shit! Look at this! He's having his head on a ram."
A
Like,
Dodge Ram logo. That's funny.
What are we doing, man?
But it,
God damn!
like I look.
You
I
know
don't.
what's gonna happen, right? You know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Their wardrobe.
The
They're gonna-
wardrobe, 100%. It's gonna have
They're gonna get-
a shit on us. It's gonna look like a NASCAR fire suit, man.
Well, look at the NBA. The NBA eventually ended up putting
Yeah,
sponsors
they
on
put
their
the one
jersey.
little logo above. I mean, but pretty soon, like they're gonna come out with a robe and it's gonna be like sponsored by Sean Stanley Sport Talk or something. Like, there we go.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, man, it's to the moon here, and it's
Yeah.
it sucks, man, because I'm concerned because a lot of us wrestling fans want to love wrestling, but they're tuning us out, man. Especially
Well,
WWE. They're tuning
the
us out,
thing
and they're
is,
the big boss. Right
I love wrestling, but now what they've done to me is I don't love WWE as much as I did.
now. I agree.
I still love wrestling, but WWE has taken a chunk out of my love for them.
Yeah, I am losing more interest. I'm gonna be honest with you, Sean. I tune in to a lot of wrestling because of the show, obviously, and we need to talk about it. But do I tune into a lot live? No, I catch a lot of replays for everything because obviously I have my other stuff I got to do in life. But it's not like I'm not gonna like, oh my god, if I don't see it right now, I'm gonna lose out. No, like, and none of the big surprises are like big anymore. Like I could see recaps on YouTube, I could see
Yeah.
recaps on X.
Hell,
So
to be honest, Frankie, and if it's that important, they're gonna put it on social media anyways.
yeah, look at
So it
Penta.
doesn't matter. I mean, that's exactly. I mean, I knew things that were happening before any of it happened because as soon as it happened, it's like boop right on social media.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like I gotta fast forward anymore. I just go WWE social media page, look it up, bam. AEW social media page, look it up, and I can tell you exactly what happened on the show.
Exactly, man. So for me, man, I for us fans, I think we need to do the effort out there, and we're not gonna stop watching because we're fans. So I don't say, but I do think not buying tickets. I also think complaining about it consistently, and also going ahead and saying and just going on social media saying I'm not gonna pay for this. I think hopefully that changes their mindset up to a point because it's just they outpriced a lot of people and we're not rich. I'm not rich. Neither are you. We're not rich. We're not gonna
Not
be
rich,
spending
bitch.
money like that. And keep in mind, Backlash is in Tampa. It's not even that far away from us. And like I thankfully I don't have to take a flight. I could drive up my car or anything like that. But then again, people who want to fly in and do all this stuff to watch Backlash, that costs money. You want to go to WrestleMania, hotel stays, flights. You saw last week when I went and told you how much I found the hotel stay, and that's only because I'm uh uh what is that MGM Rewards member. But if I didn't have that, you're paying an arm and a leg, bro. And it's not looking good out there, man. So it's like I think us fans we need to do something at least to kind of you know slow these guys from raising the prices. And if they take stuff outside like they're doing outside the United States, well then you know what, man, you're gonna lose a lot of fans too, because a lot of fans are not gonna tune in at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever they have these events, and it's gonna eventually fall down because I think about this. The UFC was on ESPN, and eventually ESPN did not resign them.
Yep.
So they saw something in UFC where I feel like they probably got capped, and they said, "Okay, we don't need
No,
UFC anymore.
the,
We
the,
don't.
the,
We don't want it."
the problem with ESPN is they're as guilty as this as anybody else. They took them from a Peacock that was what, $2.99, and you could watch all pay-per-views you wanted. Yeah, you might get ads in between when they went, instead of showing vignettes, you got the ads. But ESPN was like, you know what? I could pay more money for that, and then we put it on our subscription base, and we could charge them more money. The problem that they didn't realize was that a lot of people already have this thing, so they don't have to repay. They don't have to buy it because, like, for me, I got the bundle, so I get ESPN Plus as part of my subscription. I pay for that, Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, so you're not getting any more money out of me. You're getting the money that so I'm not going to be a new subscriber. And so, well, how much money are you actually going to make? Because
Adrian.
hey, shut up. It was $2.99 when I got it at the beginning. All right, shut the hell up. $7.99 now, whatever. But again, what I'm saying though is they thought they were going to get a lot of new subscribers by bringing that in, when in actuality, most people probably already had a subscription or a way to watch it. So you didn't have to buy another subscription. So it blew up in their face. And now they're upset about it. You're the dumbasses that made the bid.
Well, here's another thing. I don't know if you noticed it, but I read it a couple weeks ago that there was a lawsuit against ESPN because fans that had DirecTV were not getting the ESPN Plus. They were making us sign up for ESPN Plus, although they had mentioned that if you had DirecTV and ESPN was included in your cable services, you were going to get ESPN Plus for free. So there was a lawsuit going on. Eventually, for me, when I first got ESPN Plus, I had to pay for the first month because when I called DirecTV and I told them, "Hey, I got ESPN in my package for DirecTV. How come I can't get ESPN Plus for free if that's what the contract supposedly says?" And then they were saying, "Well, we're working on it as we speak." There's still people who are not getting ESPN Plus in their package. So what happens
because they
here?
work out the deals with DirecTV for certain things. That's why sometimes ESPN will leave for a couple of days and then come back when they're negotiating and stuff like that. When it expires, they renegotiate the deal and they bring it back and everything else. Same with the Fox Sports and all that stuff, man. But
DirecTV
again,
does not suck, Adrian. And what's up, Tony?
But again, you didn't look at it smart enough. You looked at it as like, well, shit, if we get them, then we're going to get all these subscriptions and that'll help our brand new ESPN Unlimited. And no, not really.
Well,
Not
then
really.
that kind of triggers us to go to one of the other topics that we had, which was the tensions between WWE and ESPN, right? So
But is there really tensions?
there is
There's
tension
tensions. There's tensions.
because I will say this: you blacked out Chicago because they were having struggles with ticket sales. You're blacking out the 50-mile radius over there in Vegas. So ESPN is already pissed because people who want to watch it can't watch it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the bars, a lot of these places, they want to show it, so they have to pay ESPN. Plus, they're showing WrestleMania on ESPN 2 the first hour, and then night 2 they're doing it on ESPN. So that's more eyes.
Get a VPN and watch it on Netflix.
100%. But not everybody, especially people in their 30s and 40s, are gonna go and do that route. Remember, you can't.
In my 50s, I got it.
But you can't teach old dogs new tricks, bro. I'm telling you right now. Some people are not always gonna go ahead and go that extra and try to find all that information. You are an exception. If my dad was a wrestling fan and he watches WWE, my dad is not gonna go and be like, okay, let me try to find VPN. I still have to help my dad go ahead sometimes and fix his internet service and stuff like that because he's old. He doesn't he doesn't know that much. I didn't go into this to look at VPN and all that stuff because I already had ESPN. I already had Paramount Plus. I already had Peacock. I already had all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with what I got. I already had Netflix, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just stick with what I have. But again, the tensions here between ESPN and WWE are happening. And one of the reasons why there is a concern here, in my opinion, is because what did WWE what did ESPN do with UFC? Eventually, they did not renew their contract. Now, I don't know the details. I don't. How long did they sign that contract with WWE ESPN? I think it was like 5 years, if I'm not
5 years,
mistaken.
yeah.
So
5 years with I think an option for 10, I believe.
okay, so obviously, at the way that they're going, I don't think they're gonna go with the option to 10. Now, it could
You know
improve.
what? To be honest with you, I don't think TKO wants to go the 10. I think they want to do the 5 and get out and go where UFC is with Paramount.
Oh, so you would assume, you think that eventually, once their contract is up, they're gonna jump ship over to Paramount as well.
You do understand that what you were paying $69.95 on ESPN to watch pay-per-views of UFC. You know how much they are on Paramount?
They're like $8, $10.
It's the subscription.
No, the paper. Don't you have to pay for the pay-per-views as well?
I don't think so.
I thought you had to pay for the pay-per-views.
I don't think so.
I know the UFC fight nights and all that stuff. You could watch it on Paramount, of course. Those are the ones. Like, I saw the Strickland fight, and I obviously there was this weekend we have a hell of a UFC fight, which is Max Holloway versus who's he fighting? He's fighting Charles Oliveira, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pay-per-view because that's a UFC 3 something. I don't remember, but I thought you had to pay for that pay-per-view. If it isn't,
I may be wrong.
if it's included on Paramount, that's a steal.
Right here. Starting in 2026, there is no separate pay-per-view charge for UFC events on Paramount Plus in the US. All 43 annual live fights, including major numbered fight nights and prelims, are included with the standard Paramount Plus subscription.
Wow.
Eliminating the previous $80 plus per fight model.
Wow. Yeah, that's a steal, dude. That is a freaking bargain.
Again, everybody's like, oh, crying poor ESPN. No, you made this bed. You put the bid in. I'm not crying poor for no ESPN. Screw you. You should get what you deserve. You want to pay that much money. Because that's what allowed TKO to go, okay, if they're going to pay for this, now we can just do whatever we want to do. Because guess what? They got the TV money. They don't need to have large crowds anymore because they got $5 billion from them. They get $55 million from the Saudis. I mean, come on, man. They're making hand over fist.
Well, check this out. Disney owns ESPN, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I read on social media that it costs cheaper to go to Disney, I believe in Tokyo, than to come to, for people on the West Coast. So if you are in Los Angeles and you want to come
you go to Tokyo than go to LA. Yeah.
It's cheaper to go.
Yes.
It's cheaper to go to Disney, to Tokyo, than to go to Disney in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Because of the ticket sales, how much it costs to get in, all that stuff, it costs way more to go to here to Disney here in Orlando. So you could just imagine how greedy they're getting to the point where
100%.
Now that you mentioned the Paramount doing that, hell yeah, I want to get the hell out of it. I mean, dude, I'm subscribed to Paramount. I didn't know they were doing the live event.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I thought I watched the pay-per-view the other day, but then I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. But again, even if it's $8, it was $80 on ESPN, bro.
Yeah,
like
bro.
It was stupid.
Yeah, but then let me ask you this: how does that affect UFC, or it doesn't affect them because their contract is
the contract.
They still get their contract, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect
sense. The TV
sense.
money. That's why WWE. That's why TKO doesn't really give a what the look. If you get 75% of the audience to pay these absurd, ticket prices, they're gonna be fine because they're still gonna be making more than they made the previous year because they just keep jacking them up.
Yeah, and then obviously they're doing that 1 hour on each one is because I think their strategy is to gain more eyes looking at it, and then be like, okay, they'll jump ship and they'll be like, okay, let me add ESPN Plus and pay for it. I think that's the main reason why they're giving us an hour in ESPN2 and ESPN.
Yeah, and then also remember, Tampa's paying WWE to bring Backlash there. These places bid. I mean, it's nothing compared to what Saudi pays. Don't get me wrong, but usually they say it's between 3 to 10 million. Some cities are paying for WWE to bring the pay-per-view there.
Well, I'm pretty sure too it costs more money to have to bring a ring and do all production over there overseas
than
to do
Orlando.
here. No,
Oh,
no.
you mean over there? No, they
Yeah,
probably
like I
got
said.
rings. They probably, what they did was, as soon as they made that deal, they put shit in a container and sent it over there, and it's staged over there for when they come, and when they don't take anything else with them.
Well, I thought they would take like some of the indie shows that are close by in other countries and just move those rings over to wherever they're doing their event. That's what I thought they would do. Like maybe let's say for example France or something. France is right around the corner. Let's move that ring over from France. We'll rent the ring from France and we'll take it over to Saudi Arabia, and then it's cheaper than to
For
bring one
who? For
for WWE.
Oh no. They you got to remember they got the WWE fan experience there. I guarantee you, they probably got place and stuff is just staged in there.
So they just hold
Container.
it. They just hold
They
it
probably
there.
just have it in there container wise, and then
Makes sense.
they probably got people to look at it to make sure open it up every once in a while so it doesn't whatever. And
Gotcha. No, it makes sense. It makes sense because then you don't have to. You just have it there. It just sucks
Yeah.
because they're not making any profit for almost a whole year, except for whatever shows they decide to that one or two
or
shows.
they
they
might
have.
set it up in in that fan experience in Riyadh. There's a WWE ring, and then when they come over, they take it off and put it out in wherever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's ways around it. There's ways around. Hell, in Peru, I wrestled in a boxing ring. It was the worst thing I ever in my life, bro.
You wrestled everywhere, Sean. You wrestled wrestled on
but
farmlands and everywhere.
In Peru, they put crates like pallets. It wasn't flat wood. It was pallets.
Yeah.
So when we were taking bumps,
Oof,
dude,
that must have
I
hurt your
was
back.
like, oh. In our match, we broke one of the pallets, and so when I picked them up, I used to do the D-Lo slam where you sit out and
Yeah.
and in the bump there, the lowdown, and I looked down and he's inside. I had to yank his arm real quick to pull him up because he's stuck in the mat. Like it was terrible, bro.
That's rough, homie. That's rough.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was rough. But yeah, of course. What Tyler's saying is true. I'm calling it now. WWE should move to Paramount deal soon. I mean, if that's the type of deal,
I guarantee you that's what TKO's going to do. They're going to make this as crappy as they can on ESPN to where after the 5th year, ESPN's like, we're out.
Shit. I mean, I'm telling you, bro, it's a hell of a deal for fans. If you get to pay like $10 for Paramount Plus and you're able to freaking watch every single live event, that was the good thing about Peacock, that it was cheap.
Yes, exactly. $7.99. I watch it all the time.
Yeah, it was. I have no
I
problem.
said $2.99. That was beginning when I got it, but then
No, and you still get pretty good deals when you get it during
even
like
if you're paying
Black Friday and
$20, if you're paying $20 a month,
Oh.
but you're getting pay-per-views for free and things like that, there you go.
yeah, it's true.
Oh, Bounce,
I
good
see.
to have you in there. No doubt. I didn't see you coming, my man.
What's up, guys?
Frankie, you are cursed.
No doubt. Don't put that Dan housing curse on me, sir. Don't give me that stuff. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, you're right. All these things linked up together, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Hopefully, in 5 years, we get WWE to move on and probably go to Paramount Plus. I wonder. I haven't looked at their numbers. I wonder how UFC is doing with like viewership now that they moved to Paramount Plus and they're getting all these everybody's getting this amount, because I would have assumed they've probably increased, and I'm pretty sure Paramount Plus probably increased their subscriptions as well, because dude, that's a bargain. You get every single you get every single fight, all the pay-per-views and everything for Paramount Plus. Perfect. I have it on my phone. I'm even when I'm DJing, I'm gonna freaking like watch.
All right, so it says the debut of UFC 324 in January 2026 was a record-breaking success, drawing 4.96 million average viewers, 7.18 million global households as part of a 7-year, $7.7 billion deal.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
what UFC got. 7 years, $7.7 billion.
How much was their contract with ESPN? Or how much was WWE's contract with ESPN?
I want to say it was like 5 billion for 10.
Let me look it up. Let me see if I can look it up. WWE contract ESPN. And I'm gonna put cost. Also, it was
5 years, 1.6 billion.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much.
No.
Damn, they paid little bit about that, man. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope you guys now you guys are tuning in and watching. I'm pretty sure all you guys are right.
There's where I was confused. The Raw on Netflix was 10 years, $5 billion.
10 years, $5 billion. That's still
It's $500 million a year, basically.
yeah, still not that. That's still not a lot of money. And Netflix paid for it too. So that's.
No,
But
that's what I'm
Netflix.
saying. Like,
But people are. I mean, well, did you see that Monday Night Raw was like ranked number 7, I think, for Netflix when it comes to viewership on like live. So they didn't do that well either. This past this
yeah,
past
but you
month.
remember that's in the U.S. I'd love to see what they do internationally, man, because it'll be very interesting to see what they do there.
Yep.
Yeah. So, let's look back. I think we got one more WWE thing you had. Sorry.
Yeah, and it was Royce Keys, right? I had mentioned to you.
Yeah.
Was the Royce Keys a good signing for WWE? And the reason the reason we put that, or I put that topic in there, is because we haven't seen Royce Keys since Royal Rumble, and all we see him is on the Stephanie McMahon podcast that they keep pushing like crazy. What is going on? Why is WWE having such a hard time signing or putting in storylines with Royce Keys?
Because I think, again, it comes right at WrestleMania, man. They usually don't sign and elevate people at this time. They're usually right after WrestleMania is when they do it. I think TKO changed it and made them bring up those guys and gals right before Royal Rumble. And then you had Royce Keys. And again, the one thing you have to remember about guys signing contracts with WWE, and again, I don't know necessarily how long all of this takes, okay? But you come in, you do your talks. I believe if it's more like an agreed upon thing, then they send you to Olympic testing. Your blood work, your body, everything. They send you through to look at your legs, your back. You got to go through all of this stuff. They used to send you to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's where it goes anymore, if they actually have an in-house one now or what. Then you wait for a while. You get everything back, and then you sign the contract.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And during that time is when they're working on your storyline and what they want to do to bring you in and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Royce Keys was weird to me because when usually they would not have. And again, I think they just like what they did with the Roman CM Punk thing. I think they shot the load too early, man.
Well,
they wanted to give a FU to AEW, I feel. So they were like, well, let's get him on the Royal Rumble. But they had nothing else planned after that for him.
Yeah, because they were saying that they were having a hard time.
They're not having a hard time. What do? Everybody is positioned for something for the next 6 weeks to lead to WrestleMania. So what do? Throw Royce Keys in there to lose to somebody? That makes no sense.
Well, the other thing you also got to realize with Royce Keys is, Royce Keys, there was controversy about his age. There's also controversy. We don't know how his skills are when it comes to the mic skills. He wasn't used that much in AEW as far as like for his mic skills. We don't know that much. Now, Tyler is saying that they're using him, I believe, in dark matches.
He's been doing the
so
the main events and things like that. It's technically dark matches, but it's just beating like enhancement talent. The guy Toxic, what's his name? Damn it.
What toxic guy? What are you talking about? Who toxic?
The guy that always says you're toxic. The guy on SmackDown. That's kind of who he's been married to in the dark matches.
Really?
Yeah, I can't think of his name. The guy that was in Pretty Deadly, or whatever his name was.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's who I saw him hitting a spine buster on, and things like that. So they have him doing stuff. It's just he's not going to do anything of note until after WrestleMania.
Kit Wilson. Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going to have anything to do until after WrestleMania. That'll be substance, because unless, and I hope they don't do this, could he accept the Brock Lesnar challenge at WrestleMania?
See, but he could actually take it, and who cares?
You can rebuild him after that. You could rebuild him after that. He's not Obafemi, who's been there.
Correct.
And then you get like, you're right. He could do that. I mean, so maybe there's an opportunity for him. But other than that, nothing else makes sense, because you either incorporate him into an angle already, or you're going to kill an angle that you're already doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can't have can't have Royce Keys go out and lose.
Sorry, no, you said
somebody.
it right. Powerhouse Hobbs is his real name. That's
it
what
comes
we know
out. It
about
comes out on the beginning of the beginning of the Gravitron. It says Powerhouse Hobbs,
him.
Royce Keys.
Yeah, but you guys called it. You and Adrian and Tony, all you guys called it, saying, "Hey, we're gonna get Obafemi versus Rusev on a Monday night," and there it is. Next week we got Obafemi and Rusev. I'm like, God damn, why? They could have
Because-
easily done it in
Because I still think
WrestleMania.
it's gonna be Obafemi against Brock Lesnar at Mania, man.
And you know what sucks is that supposedly, like, I hope it ends like in a DQ or a count out or something. Like they both get disqualified. That way you could carry the storyline because I really enjoyed Rusev. But then yesterday you saw how Rusev got like beaten down at the end. I was like, oh come on, man! Like, dude, like why? Like, I felt like they should not have let them touched each other. I felt like they should have had security run out there and hold them both back and just kind of like teased us with them going at it each other. And then obviously, if they're gonna go on Monday, well, it is what it is. But I felt like that should have. I don't know. I felt like, man, why? I think they're losing. They're losing on that one because they should go ahead and probably keep it as a at WrestleMania. That's what I would have. That's what I thought should have been. It would have been a good step for Obafemi, and it would have been a good for Rusev. I always feel that Rusev is like a middle of the pack guy. Like they
Yeah,
don't.
he's
they don't
gonna
push him.
elevate. He elevate and whatever the guy's going. That's his role. That's his role.
But yeah. So we'll see what happens with Royce Keys. I like your idea though. I like the Brock Lesnar idea. Put him in there.
I mean, he'd be one of the ones that could do it because then you can reestablish. And then if he goes out there and you give him some good stuff, Lesnar could build up his value even in a loss.
And he's a big dude too.
You're like, this dude took Lesnar, whatever to the limit, and Lesnar beats him. But then now you've elevated Royce Keys at the time. I just don't think Obafemi losing to him elevates him at all.
Yeah, that's true.
There's nothing. It'll stop all the momentum there. So we got that one. You want to do the AEW stuff first, or you want to do the indie stuff?
Let's do the indie stuff first, right? Because it's only one, and this is a good story because I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans out there. We got okay. Now you tell me what KHAO stands for. What does that stand for, Sean? Because it's KHAO Wrestling, and it's an event that happened on March the 1st with Corey Zero. Now, if you guys have not heard or seen the video, this is the video that has been trending all on social media, and it's about the wrestler who was power bombed from the balcony and landed all the way down on the ground. And supposedly, what ended up happening was
it's French wrestling. It's a French wrestling federation.
Oh, it is. So the we don't know. It doesn't have anything in particular. Like KHAO doesn't stand for anything in particular. Is that what I'm thinking? That's what I thought it would have some type of World Wrestling for Entertainment, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. That's why I went to look to make sure, but I don't see anything. So
all right, so here's what happened. So obviously, and Corey Zero is a girl, right? I believe it's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is, and I'm reading this off of Fightful. It says Corey Zero hospitalized following powerbomb from balcony at KHAO Wrestling Volume 1. Says she'll be fine. And what happened was it's a French independent wrestling that has been in the rise the recent months as stars such as Kuro and Ricky Sosa have stepped into the gap made by Dorian Van Dux and Elio LaFleur signing with WWE last year. One name who's familiar to the scene may be looking at some brief time on the shelf at a huge spot at KOH Wrestling later show. Okay, whatever. So Corey was featured in a major spot on the show as Tiago Montero would powerbomb her from the balcony in the volume of the floor, with Corey having her fall slowed by a group of people below. You could take a look at the spot as posted by Corey. Okay, now let me see something. Can we show the video, Sean? Or will they tag us for it?
Doesn't matter at this point. Let's show it.
Okay, now I'm trying to look for it here. Hold on, let me see. Well, she did tag and she said, "Hey, I'm currently hospitalized, but I'll be fine. Thank you, everyone." KO stat. So let me see if I could find the video.
But she wasn't hospitalized. It was a kayfabe.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's not okay. So I like that then. I actually like that it did that because I thought she did get hospitalized.
No. She put it there that she did. They went through the whole thing. They made sure they had about 9 or 10 guys down there to catch her from her fall.
I did see that.
They did everything they could to make it as safe as possible. I still think it was dumb, but they took the steps before because the promoter didn't want to do it. And they went through, I think, at least if I can remember the story correctly, they went with the promoter through the steps on exactly how they were going to make it safe. And if you saw it, when he first picks her up for the power bomb, there's not a good grip.
All right, here we go.
So then,
yes, that is true.
Then she hugs his head to try to get picked up more. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get that on the screen now.
Let me know when you have it. Let me.
Can you widen it?
Yeah. Well, this is as big as I could do.
No, that's better. That's a lot better. All right, so you're not gonna be able to see us, but whatever. We'll play it and we'll bring it back.
All right, so here I go. Can you hear us? You can still hear us, right?
Yeah. We're there. We're there.
Right.
We're not.
I'm not gonna put the. Should I put the volume or no volume?
Doesn't care.
All right, let's put volume. Why not? Let's see what the people are doing out there. So I'm gonna put the volume. Let's see what happens out here. So look. Jesus. That's insane, dude.
And there you go. KHAO.
Jesus Christ. That is some insane work out there, brother. That is insane. So,
yeah.
Sean, talk to me, man. I thought she actually got hospitalized, but I guess not. Yeah. So at least
there was an update to the Fightful article at the end.
Okay.
It says, since this article is posted, Corey Zero, hold on a minute, sorry. Corey Zero has confirmed that her hospitalization was within the world of kayfabe and that she is doing okay.
Well, I'm glad to hear she's okay. But here's my question, and you mentioned it. What is up with indie wrestling? Is this the right thing to do? Should they be going this extreme? Because it seems like they're every single time trying to one-up us. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it when, like, even when, who was it? I think it was Terry Funk, right? No, not Terry Funk. Who was it? Was it Terry Funk? No, Sabu. When Sabu, unfortunately, passed away, like, before that, you saw his match when he was fighting in that show where they slammed him through glass and they shot him through the thing, and it was, like, ridiculous.
They took the ropes off, all barbed wire around the ring.
It was just insane. So, when is like too extreme for indie? Like, talk to me, Sean.
There isn't, bro, until somebody gets hurt seriously, man.
But have we ever? And since you have a lot of knowledge in this because you used to wrestle on a lot of indie shows, have you ever heard of any such unfortunate stories in indie where people kind of said, "Okay, we need to slow down. Like, this is we're taking it too far." Have you ever heard of anything, or has it always been to the point where at least safety, it hasn't gone to that extreme and they've been able to.
And again, my last year in wrestling, was now over a decade ago. But yeah, we weren't doing this crazy stuff. And the craziest I think we ever got was we had a scaffold at the what?
No, I said thank you, no doubt, because he was saying there was no acronyms for it.
So. So there was a scaffold they had set up at the Pembroke Pines. At the time, it was not Pembroke Pines, sorry. It was the Cooper City. They used to have indoor soccer and indoor, like, roller hockey rink. We would wrestle in one of those one Saturday every month. And they had set up with this big scaffold. It was about three scaffolds high. And basically the smallest guy in our match went up there because he wanted to jump off it, and the three of us caught him. It was a 4-way match. Nothing happened there.
Thank God.
Other than that, I mean, most of the times there's not, the Christmas tree match was a thing where, again, you had to trust the guys you were in the ring with, because the way you do it is the fan hands you a weapon and you need to, like, hit it on your hand. Like, if it's a pot, you kind of bang it on your hand to make sure, okay, it's got some give so you don't clock somebody with something, or if it's like they give you a screwdriver or something, you're like, well, I'm not going to use this, so maybe you take it, you turn it around and you use it, but not stab them in the forehead, or you hopefully trust somebody enough to where they're not going to go crazy. And again, I would never do something like this, but I do like the fact that they took all the precautions, because that's where, I think like sometimes people want to get the oh shit moment on the boys and girls in the back,
Mm-hmm.
that they don't really tell everything that's going to be going on. And sometimes that can turn into something you don't want it to turn into.
Yeah. I mean, look,
You
he had
know?
a hard time
I mean-
picking her up too, right?
Yeah, well, when she goes to pick up, because again, the match has been going on, so I'm sure there's sweat, whatever. So
Yeah.
when she goes to pick him up, she didn't. So the way the powerbomb works is basically her stomach, it's got to be flat to his face
Okay.
for him to be able to get her up for like kind of like a last ride,
Yeah.
to get her up, elevated, and to throw her. Because again, you can't just, it's not a regular power bomb where you're picking her up and just
No,
throwing her
because you
straight
got to throw
down.
her over.
Yeah, you got to throw her over and elevate her. So, that's a lot of trust, man. That's a lot of trust. And they
Ooh.
had the people there to catch. And that angle didn't show it. I seen another angle to where you can see the 9 of them are moving like in order, so that there was going to be no holes. They were going to make sure, whether it hurt them or not, they were going to catch her, and they did. And so there, but again, man, I mean, I've seen fireball spots that are very
Well, now that you mention it, hold on a second. I got you, Sean. I got another angle. I think this is the angle that you're talking about.
okay.
So let me send this to you. That way you could that way we could show it, and I'll make it larger. This is the opposite side angle. And again, like what you said, bro, it does have to be a lot of trust. Jesus Christ, that's
Yes.
a lot of trust. All right, so check this out. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll put the volume, but I won't put it that loud. And then check it out. Here is this angle.
You watch right there. She pulls herself up, boom, and then elevated up, down. Boom.
Sean, that don't like. When do you think, as a wrestler, how do you kind of like make a call and be like, you know what, man, this I shouldn't do
Just,
this.
again,
When do you
I
when do
was
you go
never
that
that guy. I mean, the biggest bump I think I've taken was like off the second ring of the ladder onto thumbtacks.
Okay.
And it was a very safe bump because basically I was climbing up the ladder. They came underneath and power bombed me from that spot down. Very simple. That's kind of big for me, I always was the guy to be on the ground to catch the dive. I felt safer there.
All day. I would be
Although
like
it's
you.
not safer. It's not safer.
Really?
Because if they come off wrong, I've still got to be there to take her. If they come off like a missile, instead of going up, they come out. Now I still got to be there to protect them.
Yeah.
But I'm taking but again, that's where I feel comfortable because I'm not a risk taker like that. I never have been. But
Don't you think she's threading the needle too much, man? That's a little bit scary.
again,
go
I
that
don't know what led
extreme.
up to that though, too. Again, if this was like a first match thing, stupid. Even
if it's the main event, Sean, that's
No,
insane. You could kill
the first-
yourself.
No, I mean, if there was an angle leading up to not like if this was their first match ever,
Yeah.
and that happened, like the first match against each other. I don't know the history of the
Of those two,
of
yeah.
the feud or all that stuff. So maybe they got to that because I'm always the guy that likes to tell a story. I'm not throwing you off the balcony in our first match.
Well, that's what I wouldn't even. You wouldn't even be able to throw me off the balcony after our 50,000 match. I'm not even going face first. I'm not letting anybody pick me up and throw me off the balcony. That's insane. I'm gonna die. One
You're not gonna
bad
die.
mistake, I could die. I could be paralyzed. It could be bad.
That's
like-
the thing, though, is when you're doing it, though, you think you're, like they always say about the risk takers. They're one instant away from, some terrible stuff happening, but they don't look at themselves as, it's going to happen to them.
No, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. I know that when you're fully invested, you love wrestling, you're gonna do those things. I mean, look at the skier. What was her name? The one who had the torn ACL and she
Yeah.
went out there to the Olympics.
Lindsey Vaughn.
Lindsey Vaughn and destroyed her knee. Her knee is just completely destroyed. She almost had to get it amputated. But just because she's into that sport and she figured this was the last time and it was the Olympics, she said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and put my knee and my body at risk, and look what happened. But again, I think that's just and I don't want to criticize anybody, but at least for me, I wouldn't do something like that, man. That's insane, dude. That's scary, bro.
No, like I said, I wouldn't. But
Too scary for
again,
me.
at least they took precautions. It wasn't just some, two people that decide on their own to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw you out the balcony." Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, they did it. They went through the things because there's been a lot of talk about this spot, and about whether it should have happened or
Yeah, man.
And again, the only thing I can say is I would not, if I was the promoter, it would not have happened on my show, and I would not have even. I'd just been like, no, that's not going down
So
because that's my insurance. If something does happen, that's my insurance.
So Adrian's asking me, Frankie, have you ever did any backyard wrestling growing up? No, I did not. Now I had growing up, I did go to some backyard wrestling. I had seen it before. And I will say this, when I was a kid, obviously me and my sister used to watch wrestling. So uh don't judge me, but when we used to watch wrestling, I would go ahead and grab my sister and probably do like a body slam or something like that on the bed or something, because I was getting so intense. And she actually went along with it too, until one day my parents came in the room and said, "What the hell are you doing to your sister? You're gonna kill her, bro." I was trying to do a tombstone pile driver on her. I was doing leg drops. I was doing the frog splash. We had used to have bunk beds, and then there was another bed on the bottom. So I would put a mat on the floor, and then I would jump on the from the bunk bed all the way and do a frog splash into my sister.
Frankie,
That's
you
how
never
crazy I
watched the
was.
thing? Don't try this at home.
I was a kid. I was what, like 7, 5, 7, 8 years old, and my sister was also into it. She was like, "Yeah, if I can do it." My sister, you know what's funny though, is that my sister never. I don't recall her doing any of those on me. Like I always did it on her, and she always allowed it. So that was funny, but yeah, no, never. And then I did go to backyard wrestling here and there, and I've seen it before. And then obviously, as I've grown up as an adult, obviously I've gone to indie shows more and more often. So, Adrian said we used to put we used to put on whole shows outside. Yeah, I mean, look at Bobby. Shout out to Bobby. Bobby used to be backyard wrestling as well, so he's also into all that. And again, those are the good old days, right? Remember, I used to watch ECW all the time, and I'll be like, damn, I wish I could be like one of those wrestlers in ECW, because I love that extreme stuff. But again, you kind of have to differentiate real life and wrestling, right? And if you do that type of stuff in real life, you can really hurt yourself. But something this insanity of throwing a power bomb, throwing this girl from the balcony is a scary, scary move. I would never do it, nor would I ever recommend anybody to do it. And I don't agree with. Sean, you might disagree with me, man, but I don't agree with this wrestling organization to allow this to happen. I would not do it. Even though they took all the precautions and everything, but I would not have done that. I think they made a mistake. That's a bad call. Even though nothing happened, I still feel like they should have never done that in the first place. I think that was bad, in my opinion. I wouldn't do it.
Again, I don't know what the atmosphere of the French wrestling scene is, so I don't know how
We need to go to France. Check them
how
out.
crazy that is or not, But I mean, again, the problem is it's one of those things to where everything's almost been done in wrestling unless somebody starts jumping off roofs of buildings and stuff like that. I mean, there's not a lot of things. I mean, jumped off cages. They've jumped off of, scaffolds. They've jumped off the Tron. They've jumped off the, I mean, I know somebody, Hardy jumped off the building the one time outside, the little awning type thing. I mean, so I don't know where, unfortunately,
You draw a line?
I mean, I draw the line of when I would never go up and do it. And so,
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But again, if somebody asks me, hey, you okay with me doing this, I'll be there to catch you.
100%. I would agree. I wouldn't mind that. Like if you told me once, Frankie, I'll throw you through the table, I'm still freaking out. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I trust you for you to be able to do that right. And obviously you would coach me right and be like, "Okay, Frankie, this is the way you have to bump. This is how you have to fall." So I trust you to the point where I'll be like, "Okay, I don't have a problem Sean throwing me through the table. I'm pretty sure I won't hurt myself." Because I feel like if I couldn't do it or I felt I was in danger, Sean wouldn't allow me to do it. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my
Yeah,
fingers.
no. I don't. Again, that's where sometimes too, like everybody's like, oh, they botched it. Yeah, they botched it because they didn't want the dude to have a broken neck, or they didn't want to, or something like that. It's better to botch it than to have, I mean, again, if you've ever listened to D'Lo Brown talk about the whole thing with Drozdov, back in the day when he got paralyzed, they had done that move 600 times in and out of, the rings. Just that day, something was wrong with the ring, and he lost his footing and put him head first right into the thing, man. It's like,
and no, Adrian,
that's the stuff you take the chances of, man.
You, Adrian, would not do any of those moves on me, sir. I do not trust you whatsoever when it comes to doing any of that stuff, sir. I apologize. I hope you don't take it offensive, but I do not trust you. I trust Sean. I don't trust you. But yeah, so that was the story with the indie show, and I hope you guys enjoyed it because it was a very interesting spot, right? A lot of people would agree with maybe Sean and myself take that we wouldn't do it. We'll take that. We'll be the ones in the ground ready to receive the hit, but not be the one being thrown. That's insane.
Yeah.
Maybe Adrian would be ready to throw him.
And to be honest, man, like if I was in that spot, I don't know that I'd want to be the person power bombing the person off either.
Yeah, because that God forbid you do something like that, you kill a person.
You slip or something happens, and man, dude.
Look at D'Lo Brown, how that dramatized him for so many years.
A long time. Hard to get over, man.
All right. So now let's talk a little bit of AEW to end the show. Yep. And of course, AEW, there's some stuff going on in the AEW world, and of course, it's circled around the whole buying of AEW, right? So obviously,
not buying of AEW, buying of Warner Brothers.
Brothers. So Paramount and Warner Brothers, obviously.
I forgot about that. I don't know how that would work.
That's a very good point. But that ain't 5 years from now. 5 years from now, maybe it'll change. But what is happening is, and this is why it's on the topic, and the topic says AEW's collision of serious problems with the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers because, as you guys heard us speak about it a couple minutes ago, Paramount has the UFC. So, what is going on? They did not talk about collision in the meetings that they had. They thought about bringing back UFC into television, which means TNT and TBS. And they are planning to possibly bring back the UFC, which if you guys are UFC fans as well, in addition to wrestling fans, remember UFC on Fox, remember UFC on Spike, remember UFC on all these, on Fox Sports 1 and all this stuff. Well, they're thinking about possibly bringing in a UFC Fight Nights on Saturdays, which would clash with AEW's Collision, which means AEW Collision might be shut down, and they're gonna go ahead and push AEW Collision to the side and put possibly UFC on Saturday nights instead of Collision. Sean, talk to me. What will Tony Khan do, or what should Tony Khan propose to them in order for them to avoid this? Because you know that the viewership in AEW Collision will in no shape or form come close to the amount of viewership you're going to get with the UFC, because we've already seen the UFC is successful in that.
There's not much you can do unless you move it to an earlier time slot. You record it after Dynamite. You can play it whenever you want on Saturday.
Remember,
you can do it as a lead into the UFC. You can do it as after UFC or whatever. It just won't be a live show anymore, I don't think. You know what I mean? So,
but then it will fall just like the Friday show that they used to have.
What does it matter? Is it not? How much more farther does it need to fall? Bro, they're trying to do. They've got MJF now on the Collisions, trying to make it like mean something. Man.
Well, maybe that's why, because they're noticing that maybe there's a very good chance that Collision might go out, and they're not going to have it because they're ready. What was Friday's show called? Do you remember? What was Friday's show called?
Rampage, man.
Rampage. Yes. And then how did that go? So if you move Collision over, you're going to lose the fan base that tune in on Saturdays, the little bit of fans that tune in on Saturday. And if you put it for night or before, you're still going to lose fans because it's being moved from the time slot that they usually get.
No, but then you're going to be versing SmackDown as well. So it's going to be head-to-head competition for wrestling fans, depending who you want to go with.
So is AEW going to take even a bigger hit when it comes to Dynamite? Because now you're not going to be able to go ahead and showcase some of your other wrestlers or be able to do some of your storylines in Collision.
What?
Now you have to focus all on Dynamite, one show.
You started
Instead of two.
asking me if I was Tony Khan, what would I do?
Yes.
I would say, look, if you take that away from me, give me a third hour
In Dynamite.
on Dynamite.
Do you think
Not
a
that I
third
like
hour?
that. Not that I like
That's what
that.
I'm gonna go with that.
Not that I like that, but then at least you have another hour to get more talent on the show.
Do you think that hurt their viewership? Because 3 hours is a lot of wrestling on
Oh,
from
no, I mean,
AEW.
it's gonna hurt, but I mean, does it at this point where does it matter? I mean, honestly, they're just above NXT on some weeks and just below on others. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they're and they put on a hell of a show. I'm not saying that it's the show, but like you just got to do as we said before, Tony Khan needs to make AEW Dynamite the best AEW Dynamite he can. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about anything else. Make it the best. Keep improving it. And I feel like they're doing that, man. I have no problem with their shows, man. I don't. Some of the storylines I disagree with, but at least they're doing them now. At least a lot of the stuff have storylines. I don't understand some of them. Like, I don't understand how you've got Kevin Knight and Speedball Bailey as part of your trios team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Kevin Knight went individually and said he wants to take on Hangman after he wins the title. And then you've got him involved in another part with another tag team. So you've got them in 3 different things that quickly, like all at once. I like.
And look at Tommaso Ciampa. Like, they got Tommaso Ciampa going everywhere right now. And you know, he won a belt as soon as he got in, and then he lost the belt. And you know, it's just one thing you mentioned to me that stuck to me was that their storylines are about wrestling.
Yes,
And that hurts them a lot.
it does.
They need to start doing storylines about entertainment. Like,
I'm better than you, and I'm going to show you in the ring. That doesn't work for TV, bro.
no, man, it doesn't. And it sucks because, like, and Tyler was saying it earlier, you know, people are tuning, they're like, hey, I'll go watch AEW. But the problem is nobody feels the same way. Nobody's like, hey, I want to go ahead and let me go tune in, because you're not seeing the viewership increase in AEW
But
programming.
again, WWE fans are conditioned for so long. So depending on how long they've been watching WWE, they're going to tune in over there and be like, what the hell is this? This isn't what I'm used to seeing. And then they'll either turn it off or decide to stick it out.
Yeah, and it's again, it's concerning because, you know, not everybody's filling the wrestling only theme storylines. It's more
It
of like,
becomes indie. It becomes indie
Yes.
feel when you do that. It does. It lowers down the product, because what makes WWE seem larger than life is the entertainment aspect. Like, look at what they did with Danhausen. Over the top. You got dancing little women Danhausens.
one of them
coming
almost
out
fell.
Huh?
One of them almost fell.
Yeah, one of them was his wife too, by the way. She's
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's a was it burlesque dancer in real
Oh.
life.
Okay.
So she was one of the dancers too. But like, think about that, man. Like think of how he was presented there compared to how he was presented in AEW.
Whoa. But I like the way they presented him in AEW.
Well, no, but ultimately that's what he's going to end up becoming in WWE. But think of how he was introduced. Think of how I hated it, by the way. I hated the way he was introduced.
I didn't like
thought
the
it
way-
was way over the top for what he does. And I felt like it did nothing for like his character. His character is what he does on social media. When people talk to him and he's like,
Well-
oh, this Danhausen and Krappenhausen and you're so Bighausen and like what he did with Adam Pearce yesterday. Here's my list of demands. This. I want the finger pointing thing with Triple H. You know, just being like annoying. That's what he is. And by the way, he did get the picture.
Here's the thing that happened. And of course, the AEW side, they kind of taught us or introduced us Danhausen in the sense of, like, you know, it was I think it was when Adam Cole went underneath the ring to get like a chair, and then Housing was holding onto the chair, and then all of a sudden you're like, who is this guy? And then people are like, who is he? The WWE world, they thought a lot of people are Universal, are watching AEW, are watching indie shows. Because if you look at it, I don't think Danhausen wrestled. It had been over a year since he wrestled in AEW.
Yeah, they kept him off TV.
So a lot
They
of people
froze his contract. Y2J.
That's where we're going.
And
Chris
sat him at
Jericho.
home for a year.
But so when you introduce a Danhausen, a lot of the fans over there in Chicago and a lot of fans on social media and watching on on the ESPN platform and all that stuff, they didn't know who the hell he was. A lot of people don't know who he was.
Set to fail, bro. It's set to fail.
Well, yes, because you don't know who the hell he is. Like, why would
you bring him out in this box like it's going to be some big surprise, and it's somebody you don't know? Like I mean, they would have been better off having Royce Keys bash through the box or something. At least people have seen him.
No, I would have done something different. I would have invested in putting maybe R-Truth into the box, or like doing something where R-Truth gets involved with him or something.
Going to be, unless it was Seth Rollins, your idea. I don't think anybody else is getting a big pop. Well, Danhausen got a pop out of the box. The problem is, as it was going on, everybody's like, "What is this?"
Yeah, they thought it was foolish.
Yeah, that's
which
the
it
thing.
was.
At behind the scenes is what he does. The thing he did with Dom, the stuff he does on social media. Again, I think that's more of what he's gonna be. His social media following and all that stuff, and bam.
Why didn't WWE prep the fans for them to understand Danhausen? That way they know the logic behind him giving out the
because they couldn't until AEW released him, and he got released the day before he was going to be in the box.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they didn't release him that day, something else was going to be in the box.
Wow. Okay. Makes sense. Well, then they should have not gone with the whole storyline of opening him up in a box. Then they should have pushed that box to maybe somewhere else, some other time. They should have done that. They should have done that in Backlash or something.
The box brings expectations, just like when you say Brock Lesnar is versing a mystery opponent in Madison Square Garden, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna get Roman and Brock in Madison Square Gardens at a house show," and I'm going, "There's no way," and it ends up being Austin Theory, and everybody is like, "Oh, you sold us a bill of goods." No, we told you Brock Lesnar versus a mystery opponent at Madison Square Garden. You guys jumped to conclusions, just like when you get a box that says don't open till Elimination Chamber. Of course, WWE fans are going to be thinking it's something more than what it's going to be.
Yeah, sure. Remember when they we're going to have like an ex WWE champion
Jinder Mahal.
And it's Jinder Mahal. People were so disappointed because it was Jinder Mahal. But hey, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that. So when it comes to the AEW side, again, I'm just concerned because I have the feeling that once you take one show away from them, man, even if they contemplate and they actually do give them a third hour, that is not a good look for AEW. I think AEW is gonna get hurt because of this. You're not gonna be able to showcase a lot of your wrestlers, and your Ring of Honor is taking a shit because that's another topic we're gonna talk about, which is
but this is where I disagree with you.
Why so?
Because again, they're doing TV shows. If you watched it. The match I saw was Okada versus AR Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, WCW used to do a show called WCW Saturday Night.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was 2 hours, depending if it's Brave season. During Brave season and sometimes basketball season, they would only get 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what it was a showcase for your top talent. And you'd bring in Sean Stanley and Frankie Fresco to put people over. And then at the end, you would have one match with maybe a Brad Armstrong versus Arn Anderson, where it's like, okay, these are two guys we know. But everything else was about elevating the talent up. You know how many people were in the audience for those tapings?
No, how many people? This is Collision, right?
No, this was WCW Saturday Night.
Oh, okay. How many?
75.
Damn, nobody was out there.
No. It was done at a soundstage, just like what they're doing here with this. And they'd film 2 to 3 weeks, and then they would put it in the can, and then what they do is when the promos, it would be like, hey, Saturday night we're going to be in Macon, Georgia, be there. Sunday night we're going to be here. Again, I know it's changed, times have changed, but if they do it properly, this could be a good thing for some of these Ring of Honor talents. And you asked me, what could they do with some of the talent that can't get seen on Warner Brothers or whatever, when it's Paramount?
Yeah.
Throw them down there, man.
Yeah, but then you're gonna bury them, bro. So just to kind of recap to you guys, Ring of Honor is going to Jacksonville to WJCT Studios, and it's like it's like the size of
Yeah.
a bedroom, bro. Like that's how small it is, bro. It's really bad.
It's a little sound stage. They put some chairs around the ring, and they got like a little board that has Ring of Honor, and
Yeah, it's bad. It doesn't look good. It actually CCW looks 20,000 times better than that, to be honest with you. But that's just me. And you have like about 45 people tops. Well, minimum they're saying 100. They say it could fit up to 100, and they're letting people go in for free. I think they're not charging people to actually go. So I guess that's a plus.
When we did Future of Wrestling, we did it World's Gym here in Plantation. And we set it up to where the ring was this way with the interview area, and then the crowd was out that way. You could probably fit 100 in there, and we gave free, and that helped build up our audience, man. I mean, it really did. We brought in, some people got to see Sandman. They got to see, rest in peace, Hack Myers. Some, guys that had been on ECW TV and things like that come into a small, intimate, taping, so like Okada, it was a surprise to see Okada there.
Well, the other thing too, Sean, is that supposedly the production is not the best either.
Yeah,
Like,
it's probably
the sound,
3 cameras, maybe.
The cameras are not going to be the best. So that's why they're saying that it's a downgrade for Ring of Honor, and for something that a couple years ago when Tony Khan purchased it, he made it such a big deal.
Yeah.
Look how bad it's fallen. Like he's really hurt.
I don't think he really had the plan. He was so excited as a fan and a mark that he had purchased something he had watched that I don't think he had a plan for, man. And we both said, not necessarily that we both said the same thing, but I had said I think they need to make that like an NXT.
Yep.
And start developing guys there and bring them up, because at that time you had Rampage, you had Collision, you had Dynamite, you had that YouTube show that was on there as well. They had shows there. So
they should bring that back. That's something they could do if they get rid of Collision. Bring that YouTube show.
There's a lot of avenues, and instead they put a title on Athena, and kudos to her. She's hella, but like it hasn't elevated anything. And they put the title on. I think Mark Briscoe had it at one point. They've had it on a couple of the bigger, names of the men as well, and it just hasn't, taken off, because I don't think people see that as Ring of Honor anymore.
No.
It's like what happened with ECW when WWE tried to bring it back. They're like, this isn't ECW, this is WWE. They looked at Ring of Honor and was like, this ain't Ring of Honor, this is AEW. Because Ring of Honor back in the day was AJ Styles, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, Claudio Castagnoli. The matches you had on those cards, let me see if I can find one back in the day here real quick.
Well, while you look it up, again, like what you're saying, Ring of Honor has been like put on the back burner, and it sucks because there is so much opportunity for Ring of Honor. Literally, you're putting them like, even if you have like an Athena defending a Ring of Honor belt, Sammy Guevara, because I think he's still the Ring of Honor champion. But dude, these guys and girls are going to be wrestling in like 45 in front of 45, 50 people. This is like an indie show all over again. For Ring of Honor, that, like you said, at one point in time was prestigious because you had the likes of AJ Styles, you had the likes of Tommaso Ciampa, you had all these guys out there, and it made it cool for fans. But now it's like Tony Khan has buried that, bro. Just like WWE buried ECW, where nobody is gonna tune in, and it's only a matter of time before Ring of Honor I don't even know why he hasn't shut it down, because nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody, no. Who tunes in? Who watches Ring of Honor? Who watches any of that stuff? I don't watch any of that stuff. I mean, I would love to, but I mean, I don't even know who. I don't even know who are the champions over there. I know. So look at this, and it's crazy. So check this out. I'm under while you're looking that up. Athena's still the women's world champion. I had no idea, but Bandito is the world champion over there. The
Oh,
pure,
didn't even know that.
I had no idea about that. The Ring of Honor pure champion is Lee Moriarty. Apparently Nick Wayne is still the Ring of Honor World TV champion. Look at this. The tag team champions, Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos. I had no idea Mortos was a champion. Mortos is the tag team champion with Sammy Guevara. I had no idea about this. The 6-man tag team champions. Jesus Christ. Shane Taylor Promotions. Those guys still exist. This is what pisses me off because Shane Taylor Promotions at one time was great in AEW, and they had their little run, and now they're buried all the way in Ring of Honor. Nobody even knows about them. The women's world TV champion is Red Velvet, and the women's pure champion is Deonna Purrazzo. I had no idea that any of these people were champions. The only one I knew was Sammy Guevara and obviously Athena because she's held that. But I had no idea Bandito was the world champion.
I didn't even realize their shows. This good.
Holy shit! And when you look at their roster, they got Angelico. Okay, he's not usually in AEW. Anthony Henry. Okay, he's not usually there. Billy Starks is still okay. Billy Starks. Dalton Castle still down there in Ring of Honor. They still got Dustin Rhodes. They got Dustin Rhodes in Ring of Honor. That's crazy. I know
Well, he
he's
had both knees replaced. He's injured right now, but
yeah. Oh, they put Mansoor down there. Good, because I think he
both
sucks.
of those guys are down there now. Yeah, so
Yeah, and then who else do they have in? I'm just look. This is the first time I look at their roster, and they don't even have that. Oh, they got Wheeler Yuta. Tony Nese is down there. I didn't even know Tony Nese was still signed to AEW. I had no idea. But they still added some. I mean, they still got Mark Briscoe listed down there. Who else do they? Commander still listed down there. Oh my God, they got Jay Briscoe. Come on, man. I guess they want to pay him respect. I don't know, but come on, man. It's not even. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty sad. This lineup over there. Brian Cage.
I think he's injured too. He's injured as well.
I heard that they wanted to WWE wanted to sign him.
Who?
Brian Cage.
Yeah. He went to AEW because he didn't want to go to WWE.
Yeah. Did you find a card before for Ring of Honor before?
Well, I don't have a card, but I got the roster from 2010 Ring of Honor.
Go for it.
I'm going to list them all, okay? Adam Cole, Adam Pearce, Austin Aries, Awesome Kong, Bison Smith, Blue Demon Jr. These are announcers. Cedric Alexander, Caleb Conley, Charlie Haas, Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, Cole Cabana, Christopher Daniels, Davey Richards, Delirious, Eddie Edwards, Eddie Kingston, El Generico, now known as Sami Zayn, Homicide, Jay Briscoe, Jeremy Buck, one of the Young Bucks, Jerry Lynn, Jim Cornette, Joey Ryan, Kenny King, Kenny Omega, Kevin Steen, now known as, of course, Kevin Owens, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, Max Buck, another one of the Bucks, Mike Elgin, Mike Bennett, P.D. Williams, Prince Nana, Rhett Titus, Ricky Reyes, Rocky Romero, Roderick Strong, Sammy Callahan, Sarah Del Rey, Sean Davari, Shelton Benjamin, Sonjay Dutt, Steve Carino, T.J. Perkins, Taylor Hendricks, Tyler Black, which is Seth Rollins, Zach Gowen.
They had a good roster. They had a very solid roster compared to the roster that they have right now. Angelico, Anthony Henry, Athena, Bandito, Billy Starks, Brian Cage, Carly Bravo. I don't know who that guy is. Charlotte Renegade, Cole Carter, Dalton Castle, Deonna Purrazzo, Diamante, Dustin Rhodes, Griff Garrison, JD Drake, Jack Jameson, Jay Briscoe, Commander, Lady Frost, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, Mansoor, Marina Shafir, Mark Briscoe, Marshall Von Erich. I didn't even know they were down there still. Mason Madden, Mike Bennett, Amina Shirakawa, Nick Wayne, Rachel Ellering, Red Velvet, Robin Renegade, Ross Van Erich, Sammy Guevara, Serpentico, Shane Taylor, Sean Dean, The Beast Mortals, Tony Nese, Trish Adora, and Wheeler Yuta.
So I just got this an hour ago. AEW presents Revolution from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. There's still 1,000 tickets on sale. Got about 12 days till the show. Cheapest ticket. What do you think the price is?
Just to get in?
Yep.
$15.
Standard admission.
$15.
$34.79.
Damn, dude. And that's why and what's up, Oscar? That's why when Tyler was saying, hey, people are tuning into AEW, they're not. They're not, because they're struggling to get ticket sales over there.
Yeah. I mean, I think just people are just starting to fall out of love of wrestling because, again, it's what WWE has conditioned. WWE has conditioned their fans to not really be interested in what AEW is putting out there.
But AEW doesn't help their cause either, Sean. You know that.
No, they don't. But if you like wrestling, like in the inside the ropes, you could watch AEW. I mean, it's not like you're watching a freaking botch fest inside there all the time.
Well, you know, WWE loves this. WWE wants to see AEW go down. Because as soon as they go down, they'll be able to freaking sign Okada. They'll be able to sign Kenny Omega. They'll be able to sign MJF. They want this to happen. Again, the only reason AEW hasn't gone down the drain is because Tony Khan has so much money to spend.
No, because Shad Khan has so much money.
His daddy. But yeah, so that's the only reason why. But for WWE, bro, they love this. They love the fact that they're struggling.
Yep.
You know, they'll buy everybody else, and then you know what? It'll bring entertainment to the WWE because I would love to see an MJF. I would love to see an Okada in WWE. But again, I don't know how they're going to use them or if they use them correctly. But I know MJF would be a good one to have over there because MJF has that charisma and he has the WWE format. That's why he's one of the most popular wrestlers, if not the popular wrestler in AEW, because he focuses on the entertainment side.
Their audience goes up and down when he's there and not there.
100%.
Because even as casual wrestling fans, they'll tune in to see that. He's entertaining.
But, and I know we've kind of beaten down this with a stick over and over again, but why doesn't Tony Khan change his model of like, yo, let's not just focus on wrestling. Let's focus on entertainment as well. We could deliver
the first thing they said, we're different. We're not WWE. That's where
But it's not working.
I get that, but Tony Khan's going to make it work, buddy.
Or he's going to go down the drain eventually.
And the beef is at Wendy's, buddy. That's where the beef is. All right.
No doubt. All right, Sean. Any last topics? I think we covered all.
I think we got them all, man. Let them know where they can get a hold of you, man.
You guys can follow me all on Frankie Fresco on all social media platforms, and also on X, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. Anything else? And you can follow me on all that. And then also, don't forget this Friday, baby. This Friday, your boy Frankie Fresco is gonna be at the CCW event, Bash at the Brew. If you guys are gonna be in the South Florida area, Bash at the Brew here in Miami, 7:00, 7 p.m. Doors open, 8:00. The show starts. It's gonna be a banger. Your boy Frankie Fresco is gonna be out there. Obviously, my parents are. I never take my parents to wrestling. Well, I take my dad every once in a blue moon, but I haven't taken ever my mom. So this is gonna be a new, a new, a new thing for her. She's excited, and my mom is actually happy. Like I never hang out with the old folks. I mean, I hang out with them here and there, but I never like say, hey, it's gonna be an old folks night with me. So. And since my parents are both retired now, my mom just recently retired about 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get there. I gotta get her out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and have her come out. And then I don't know, man. I'm excited. I hope my mom is excited about Bash at the Brew 62. This is gonna be at the Tank Brewery. Like I said,
she's gonna be like, bro.
I'm gonna get my mom and my dad my mom and my dad are gonna be so wasted. I'm gonna get because it's at the brewery, so I'm gonna it's at.
I hope they don't jump in the ring, start hitting people with chancletas.
5100 Northwest 72nd Avenue here in Miami, Florida. That's if you want to go to the show, it only costs $20, so it's it's not expensive at all. And front row is already sold out. Obviously, VIP is already sold out, but they do have general admission VIP.
Did you get VIP for you and your mom and dad?
No, because when I went to go buy them, like they were already sold out, so I couldn't get it. So I just got them general admission. But I mean, I mean, maybe if I gotta see how my mom, like my dad likes it. My dad had no my dad went with my brother and me. So what was maybe like 3 or 4 years ago for my birthday, I told I didn't have any plans, so I said, Dad, would you want to come? You want to come to a wrestling show with me? He's like, yeah. I told my brother, I'm like, I'm gonna take Dad to the wrestling. He's like, Frankie, I'm not doing anything here. Let's do it. So I took my dad and my brother to the wrestling show. This was when they were having it in East Hialeah. And I remember we go in there, we saw Cha Cha Charlie in the street fight with the Argentinian guy. What is his name? Fudge. Damn it. Damn it. The Argentinian guy, Sean. Do you know who I'm talking about? The
We
skinny
did it
guy?
last week, and we had to look it up. I can't remember his name
Damn
right
it.
off the top
I
of
don't
my head.
remember his name again. God damn it. Anyways, it was a street fight. And again, I haven't been in an indie show in a minute. So when my dad is there and we see Cha Cha take a bad bump against the steel metal stairs, and he starts squirting blood left and right on his right side, and it's like blood. I remember looking at my dad, and my dad is he's like,
Ariel Levy.
Ariel Levy, thank you, sir. My dad's face was like what the hell are you, what the hell did you bring me? And you could, dude, the blood was squirting like to the fans, because and you know who actually showed up at that show as well? um Man, he's in TNA right now, bro. The big dude, he used to be in WWE, and now damn it, what is his name? He's from Miami too. Let me see if I can find him. He's AJ Francis. So AJ
Oh, okay.
Francis, AJ Francis made uh, a guest appearance. He did a power bomb on Cha Cha Charlie, even though it was busted open with blood. But my dad, my dad was traumatized. You know what's gonna freak out my mom? And I know I'm going long here. What's gonna freak her out is because the ring makes such a loud noise. That's
Yeah.
that's gonna freak her out. That's what's gonna make her be like, "Oh my god, Frank, what did you bring me to?" But that's why I gotta buy him a couple of drinks. I'd be like, "Mom, Dad, here, have a little bit of drink." My dad would drink no matter what. My mom, I just gotta get her like one or two drinks, and she'll get loosened up, and then all of a sudden, it'll be so cool if the wrestlers come. I'm gonna try to have photos with them, try to have them and give handshakes and all that stuff to my mom and my dad. I want to make it fun for them, because I think my parents are gonna, especially my mom. I'm excited about my mom. That's who I want to see how she's gonna react. So if you guys are gonna go out there, definitely show some love to CCW, Nelly, and all those guys over there. All the wrestlers over there are really good. Their shows are really awesome, and it is one of the hottest shows in South Florida when it comes to wrestling. Coastal Championship Wrestling, CCW, Bash at the Brew, nothing like it. $20, and you could go check out some wrestling, bro. And the shows don't go that long; they go for about 2 hours, so it's really good. It's really fun.
100%. Make sure you head out there Friday night. You can catch me at SS_Sports Talk. Catch me on Stanley Media House, everywhere else. Of course, here on the Stanley Media House Network. We've got Mondays talking NASCAR with No Doubt Spencer. Tuesdays talking wrestling with Frankie Fresco. And on Fridays talking some South Florida sports unfiltered with the Rainy Day Podcast, Adrian himself. Any last words?
When is my boy Connor gonna win a race?
Got to learn how to drive that car, buddy. Got to be able to handle that big package they got there.
I'm a big fan of my boy Connor. He's my favorite one, and I guess the next person I kind of, I guess I kind of like here and there sometimes. Let me see who I haven't seen there. I haven't been looking at the standings. How's the standings right now? Probably
Standings are a mess right now because a lot of the top cars got wrecked the first 2 weeks. So
really.
it's quite a mess.
To be honest with you guys, I really do just watch the Daytona 500 and the Homestead Speedway. Those are the two I really focus on. But
So you watch the first and the last race.
yeah, those are really the ones I really do watch.
Last year you would have watched the first race and the third race. So
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
done with NASCAR in January, February.
I was
March.
done. I was done with that. After that,
One of
yeah.
those months.
But yeah, no. I gotta go in there and start watching a little bit more NASCAR. Why not? I have to because I want to join into the NASCAR chat room and be able to make sure I could keep up with the likes of No Doubt and the likes of Sean Stanley when it comes to NASCAR. I could only say certain things, but I gotta I gotta put my 2 cents in there. Bubba Wallace, he's number 2 in the standings. I like Bubba Wallace. He's not bad. And Chess Elliott is right there at number 3. So shout out to those two guys. I like those guys as well. They're not bad. So not a fan of Tyler Reddick. I don't appreciate owners that like to touch kids. So yep. And thank you, no doubt. Thank you for telling my mom to retire. Yeah, man, she finally retired after 20-something plus years in the school board. She finally retired. Any last words, Sean, before we go?
Emotional damage.